You know, it really is unfortunate to see a K-pop group not being a brotherhood or a sisterhood or a family, right? It's really hard to grasp that idea when you see happy smiling faces, when you see idols looking at each other fondly, kindly, idols seemingly getting along with each other. It's very hard to imagine. You see their moves are synchronized on stage. You see they are really talented singers, rappers. They seem to have a good chemistry on stage. But then what you don't know behind the scenes is they don't like each other. They can't stand each other. They probably might hate each other's guts or whatever the case. And unfortunately, for some K-pop groups, that is the case. Not all K-pop groups see each other as family. Some of them just see each other as business partners. We're just in this thing for business. We're not doing this to be friends. We're not doing this to get along or anything like that. But eventually the cracks start to show. You can't keep up that facade forever. No matter how professional you believe yourself to be, you can't keep that up forever. And so the reason why I'm talking about this is because I wanted to go back to the n.SSign Eddie story. However, I feel like it would be best to talk about this in a more general sense, because we've seen in Eddie's case where he's gotten to the point where he's tired, he's done, he doesn't want to do this anymore. He sounds like he doesn't want to be an idol anymore. He wants to go back home to America. He doesn't want to be here. Talks about how he misses his family, misses his friends, and that the fans are the only people that he could talk to. You know, you got 10 people living in a dorm with you, or at least 9 of them, not including yourself, and you can't talk to any of them because they're all kind of at each other's throats. They don't like each other, but on stage, they look perfectly fine. Like you would never think that anything was happening. But I guess my question is, how long would that facade last when the pressures of idol life behind the camera starts to take effect? How long is that going to last? When the struggles of the life that you have outside of constantly being on stage starts to play a big role in what happens on stage, to the point where people start to notice the cracks. Now, I'm not saying that n.SSign is at that point, but they very well could be getting to that point. And Eddie has already gotten to that point. In fact, it used to be 10 members. One of the members has left n.SSign. Hyun, I think his name is. I know there was someone in my comments section that said Eddie left, but Eddie did not leave. Eddie is on hiatus. Do I think he probably will leave? Yes. I think he will leave. I think he wants to leave. But I wanted to say this because this is an important thing that we need to keep a note of. There are literally groups that you would never think were at each other's throats behind the scenes, but they actually are. They present themselves as kind and friendly, and maybe there is an aspect of their character that is still open to friendship with each other, right? Somewhere in their hearts, they want to be friends with each other, but they butt heads more than they thought they would, or they run into more problems than they do solutions as a group. And so I think sometimes it's a dangerous thing to put so many people in one group, and the only way that they even found out about each other and they know about each other is because they were on a survival show. You put them all in one group and then they don't get along as well as you thought they would. I think the survival shows are designed to put people in different groups, see their chemistry together, see if they'll do well, see if they'll pull through, and see if they will actually lift each other up and comfort each other and encourage each other and be there for each other. And if one member is having a hard time in one area, singing, dancing, rapping, whatever, the other member or members can lift that person up and say, hey, I'm going to be right here with you. I'm going to stand by you and we're going to get through this together. And you get to see moments like that within the show where someone who is not as proficient in dancing or rapping or singing gets help from someone who is more proficient in those areas that they lack in. And as a result of the bond that is forged through friendship and being there for one another and supporting each other and helping each other, you see the development and the improvement of not just the one member, but the whole team. Like as a result, the entire team profits well from and benefits from the hard work that one of them puts in a area that they're not proficient in, or at least as proficient in as the other members are. So that come the day of the stage performance and the evaluation of the overall group, when they see how well the group is doing, the chemistry, the judges can look at these members and these groups and be like, wow, yeah, you guys really are a team. Not just a team on stage, but off stage as well, because we get to see it. We get to see the development of this team grow into more than just a team, but a group of friends. That's what these survival shows are supposed to be showing us. But unfortunately, in some cases, you could have that and then put the group together, and because they're always around each other, it becomes a whole nother situation. Now, I'm not saying this because I have prior experience of being an idol. I wouldn't know anything about that life except what I know about some idol groups like n.SSign, because they were a survival show group. They were put together that way. But Eddie revealed that none of the members are getting along, and that he feels like he can't talk to any of them, and that he feels like he can only talk to his fans, and he calls his fans his friends, his only friends. It's not just friends, but his only friends. You've got this situation, right? And you would ask yourself, is that true? Because I know some people were like, nah, I think he's just tripping. I think he's emotionally drained, mentally drained, he's physically exhausted, and he's just saying stuff. Is he? Is he though? So are you saying you're just going to deny what he put out there and say that I'm just going to chalk it up to he's just mentally and physically exhausted? That's why he's saying stuff. So he's lying. Wait. So mental exhaustion and physical exhaustion can lead to lying. Is that what you're saying? Because there are some people that are like, no, he's just wilding out. I don't believe that's true. And I don't know how you can take what he said and think that that's what he was doing. Speaking to the intentions of a person as if you're God or something, and you can just kind of read into what really was going on. Like, it's strange, but that's kind of how people are sometimes. They assume that something else is going on instead of taking the person's statements for what it is. Now, I've done that with New Jeans and n.SSign, but there's a reason for that. Their actions don't match what they say. That's the problem. If you see the contradiction, you can call the contradiction out and then bring up possibilities, right? n.SSign, contradiction. She's a walking, talking contradiction. New Jeans, walking, talking contradictions. I don't even want to get into that. This is not a New Jeans video. But I'm saying that, for people to assume that of n.SSign's Eddie in the same way that you would a situation with New Jeans or n.SSign is kind of wild to me. Believe it or not, there are people that actually think that he was just tripping, and that he just needs to go to sleep, or he needs some rest or whatever. But the point I'm trying to make is that n.SSign proves that there are groups that don't get along, which is unfortunate. And people would ask, well, okay, if we are to take Eddie's statement seriously, or an idol's statement seriously, and they say that they basically need help, or that they are tired or whatever, and the company puts them on hiatus, well, what is there for us to do? Like, the company just solved the problem. No, they didn't. What's going to happen is that they're going to take him off hiatus, bring him back to the group, and he's going to end up in the same situation with the same people that don't like him and don't want to talk to him, don't want to be around him. And he's tired of that environment. He's tired of the fakeness. He's tired of putting on a face. He's tired of pretending that everything's okay. He's tired of acting like everybody's friends. He's tired of perpetuating a lie. So he wants out. And Japanese fans won't like this. They didn't like it the last time I said it. It doesn't matter how you feel. It matters how the idol feels. Because we can't keep treating idols like they're not people and treating them as if their feelings don't matter. Your feelings matter, but the idols doesn't. Like, no, make that make sense for me. They're not a robot that answers your beck and call. They are people that have the same feelings and the same levels of anxiety. They get depressed the same way. If you cut them, they bleed the same way you do. They're the same kinds of people that you are. Regular people that happen to have the title of idol. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it just kind of came out that way. They have the title of idol. And with that title, they have to put on a face, pretend like they are like the best thing since sliced bread or since Jesus Christ. Not that they are, I'm just saying that they have to pretend like they are the standard of perfection. That's what they are marketed as. That's what they're supposed to present themselves as. And that they never have a bad day. But that's not true. And Eddie has shown that that's not true. And for people that would ask, well, how do you know that Eddie's actually being for real in this? Well, I didn't know that I had to Be there with him in the moment that he was typing all of this stuff. I didn't know that I had to see the facial expression that he would make while typing. People want a dramatic example to shake them out of apathy. I'm quoting a line from Batman Begins, by the way. That's what Bruce Wayne said. People need dramatic examples to shake themselves out of apathy. And that's not always how things work. Sometimes you just ain't gonna be there when this person's going through something and they're starting to pour their heart out to people. You're not gonna be there, okay? You're not gonna be in their space at that time. You're not gonna be there for every moment when they're angry or sad and crying or whatever. We don't need to see him crying or suffering to believe what he's saying in his from texts. We don't need that. What we need to do is look at his text and say, okay, he said what he said, very serious. The company apparently acknowledged it was serious and put him on hiatus for what he did and for how he was feeling. But then they're gonna put him back in the same situation that he just left from, which caused him to feel the way he felt. So what do? The same thing we're doing for Rise's Sunghan. Lift up your voice. I know I sound like I'm preaching, but lift up your voice. Oh, fans, lift up your voice and tell the company that we're not going to support n.SSign unless you do something about this problem. Or you could tell the n.SSign, if Eddie wants out, let him be free. If Eddie wants to leave this life, this idol life, let him do it. I think Eddie would have a great career as a solo artist. He's young. He has a lot of youth in him still. There's no point in wasting it in a group that he doesn't want to be in anymore because they're not really cool with each other and they don't get along. And who knows how rough the conversations are or the arguments are between the members. So whilst you can be a fan, and I know, look, Japanese fans, I know they probably don't want to admit or see anything wrong with n.SSign, and anybody that addresses the problems with n.SSign, they tell them you don't know what you're talking about and things like that. And I'm not saying all Japanese fans do that, because I got to make that clarification every time I do this. Otherwise, people are going to think I'm generalizing. There are those Japanese fans and even Western fans or whatever, and Korean fans even, who would deny what Eddie said and chalk it up to he just needs to take a nap. He just needs to take a break, go on hiatus. He'll be better in the morning, right? He'll be better. Just put a Band-Aid on it. You don't put a Band-Aid on things like this. It's not something you can just ignore. So that's why I wanted to bring up this video. Make your voice heard for our idols. That is the whole point of this video. That's my message. Make your voice heard for the idols who are going through stuff. Don't let their cries fall on deaf ears. We help them, because I know like a lot of people like, how do we help them? How do we help these people? You go to the company. That's who you go to. You take it to the company. The company will either listen to what you say and actually do what's right, or they'll not listen to what you say and keep a problem recurring. And if that happens, the next step is pull financial support from them. Do not support them financially. Withhold your money and tell them, hey, since you didn't listen to what I said, then maybe my actions will show you that I mean business. And then that maybe will help change their mind, because money speaks more than words. So you withholding it will definitely speak volumes, because companies most of the time don't care about solving the problem of the individual idol who's going through stuff. They claim they do, but they really don't care. They really don't. Just, I mean, literally, if you want an example of that, look no further than n.SSign's company, NCH Entertainment, and their statement that they made addressing Eddie's situation. They said they put him on hiatus, but then they said that, and I'm paraphrasing, they basically said that we hold the mental and physical health of our idols in highest priority. Like, that's a high priority for us as a company. That's not true. It ain't true. And I think a lot of people can call BS on that, including me. So just because a company says something doesn't mean that you have to take their word. I think we all have learned this lesson by now. But my point is, we have to stand up for these people, because idols more often than not don't have a voice, and their voice falls on deaf ears. And even when they talk to the fans and say, please help me, the fans don't know how to help, right? And idols feel like I don't know how else to tell you to help, probably because they're going through so much mental turmoil and physical exhaustion, they can't even think of what to do to help. And even if they could think of how the fans could help, I don't think that they are at liberty to vocalize that, because it would be going against the company. They can't say anything against the company. They're under contract. They can't tell the fans to rise up against the company and do something about this. Get me out, right? All they can say is, you know, I'm tired, and they kind of subliminally tell you that they need help. I don't know. I think we need to stick it to the company and let our voices be heard on behalf of the idols that can't really speak for themselves because the companies won't let them. So that's my point in bringing up the Eddie thing again. If more comes out in the future about n.SSign's Eddie, of course I will report it. I was actually meaning to take this video a whole nother direction, but I was led to do it this way because this is not just an n.SSign Eddie issue. This is a company idol issue in general. Like, not every idol group is as well off and getting along like you would think. Not every group, okay? And some people in the groups might want to leave. That's all I wanted to say. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to work on the next video now. I'm going to lead up to my vocal analysis video, which is going to be the big creme de la creme. I'm looking forward to talking about this BTS member. I'm still not telling y'all who it is, who I'm going to start with. I'm just going to pick random idols and talk about their vocal prowess. All right. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be honest, because y'all know that's what I do. I'm honest. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. I hope that you guys have taken something away from this video, a very powerful message. Let's let our voice be heard for people like Sunghan, for people like Eddie. Let's do better. Let's not let these people drown out our voices. These negative so-called K-pop fans that wish harm and unaliving on an idol who's in a group and want them kicked out for just being a normal person. We can't let them drown us out, man. We can do it. We can do it. We gotta speak up. It's 2024. It's about to be 2025 in a couple months. We got to do better. And I already see that we are pushing back. And that's a good thing. We're pushing back because I see it happening with Sunghan. Let's keep doing this for other idols that are done wrong by the company, done wrong by toxic fans and all that stuff. So thank you guys for listening. I'm going to go now. I'm talking too much. Love you guys. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.